Hi everyone, welcome to Relatively Sane. Hope you are all doing well. I know that a lot of you are struggling because, listen, most of us are right now. But things will get better soon. Give it about 2.5 years and you'll be fine. I mean, listen, things could always be worse. I've been thinking about that a lot. Things could always be worse. And some people are just alone and dealing with such horrible things. I spoke to my aunt who's not alone, but I spoke to her recently. She lives in Florida, typical Jewish, mother, grandmother. And she's like, I don't know what to do because I have to wear this mask and I had a mole removed from the side of my face. So of course I touch it because it was removed and it's itchy and uncomfortable. And so I have to little Band-Aid there. Then I have the mask. So I touch the Band-Aid. I touch my mask. I don't know what to do. It's all confusing. And then I just am like, listen, who gives a shit? Touch the Band-Aid, touch the mask. I mean, I'm not worried about touching my mask. But I do touch my face a lot. I really do. And it's not a great thing. It's a habit. And when people are like, well, just don't touch your face. I'm like, I can't do that. It's like asking someone who's OCD not to count 3 times, not to count 3 times, not to count 3 times, Like you can't just have someone do that. I have a thing with 3s, which some of you know and some of you don't know, but I'm obsessed with the number 3. It's in my yearbook quote. I do everything in 3s to the point where it's insane. Like every alarm I set, it has to be a 3 number. Like, I'm trying to think of an example, like 6:03 is really good, or 6:51, because 6 plus 5 plus 1 is 12 and 2 plus 1 is 3. So obviously I'm mentally ill also. So if anyone's listening to this and feels alone, don't feel alone. I am completely in the same boat you are, and we're all going to get through this. And I am so excited for this podcast today. You guys are going to love it. And if you don't, fuck off. But seriously, you're going to love it. But really, if you don't, you know what? Just don't even listen to my podcast anymore. I don't know why you wouldn't get it or like it. So just, you know what? I'm going to go. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Relatively Sane. I'm here with one of my idols. I know she's going to think that's crazy that I just said that, but it's true. Wendy Liebman. Hi, Wendy.
That's relatively crazy.
It's not. Do you know, I don't know if you remember when I opened for you 20 years ago at Governor's in,
I do.
I don't even remember where.
It was like Malden or no, Malden is Boston, but it was like in a suburb.
It started with an M though. It's funny. It was on,
did.
because I live on Long Island. I can't remember the name of the town, which is so annoying. But
Yeah.
I,
I'm from Long Island.
where are you from on Long Island?
Roslyn,
Oh my, I didn't know it was Roslyn.
11577.
Yes, I used to live there.
You
I
did?
lived on Old Country Road. Yeah.
Oh my God.
What a,
Did you go to high school? You didn't go to high
no,
school
I
there.
ended up there because of a relationship. And
Oh.
and I was a Jersey girl, and then I became like a Long Island, but I'm not a Long Island girl. I'm,
Neither am I really.
you're
Like I
not.
was like I was a cheerleader, but I was very angry. My step I told that to my stepson when he was little and he goes, "Give me an F."
That's a great bit. It's the first thing I thought of, like, go team go. Go team go. Like you're just in
No, I was like a hungry, angry cheerleader, but I was also in the drama department. Like I was always in the plays. So, but one time um I almost froze to
Oh
death at a
my
football game because I was like freezing. I was like this skinny and they wouldn't let me sit in the bus. And then somebody told me I was being too dramatic. And I thought, well, I'm also in the drama club.
You're like, it makes sense because I'm in the drama club.
Right.
Oh God. Yeah, I don't know if Jewish girls should be cheerleading. I'm not sure that's a good.
Well, my whole high school was mostly
I
Jewish,
know.
so it was a lot of Jewish cheerleaders.
Like, come on, score already.
Just do it.
Ugh, when is this game over?
I'm cold. I'm
I
hungry.
don't want to move. I want a blanket. Oh, okay. So, and then where did you go to college?
So then I went to school in Boston.
Hmm.
I went to Wellesley,
Oh, you did?
which I refer to as IOU. I'm just doing my act for you, Jessica. Um,
You have no idea. Please do your entire act during
okay.
this podcast. I could care
Okay.
less.
I went to Wellesley. I graduated and then I was doing psych research. I was going to be a therapist
Me
like your mom.
too. I was going to be a therapist. Yeah, I
Really?
went for a master's in social work.
I never got my master's, but I did psych research. And everybody at lunch would say how funny I was. But I was really depressed.
Really? In college?
This was after
Oh,
college.
yeah,
This
me
was my
too.
first job.
It was hard.
And um, and I decided I didn't want to be a therapist. Like I'd rather make people laugh than
Hmm.
cry, right?
Right.
And then I did publishing for a little while. I was a secretary, so I got some jokes out of that. And then and then I worked at Radcliffe doing like administrative work. And it was really like a good time. I felt very nurtured because it was all women.
Hmm.
And I took a class on how to be a stand-up comedian at the Cambridge Center for Adult Education with Ron Lynch, who has been on the Sarah Silverman program, if you know
You
him.
know that your story is like incredibly similar to mine?
Really?
Yes. It's so weird. I took a class at I just was lost. And everyone was always like, "You're so funny." And I was going from job to job, miserable, depressed. In my 20s was very hard. I feel for
Yeah.
girls in their 20s a lot. And then I took a class and I loved it and I just kept doing it. But that's
Who is your teacher?
it was Steve Rosenfeld at the American Comedy Institute in New York.
I don't know him, but it worked.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm in my closet.
I thought you came out of your
I
closet.
did. And you know what? This virus has made me straight again. I'm here to announce on this podcast. I'm so confused at what's going on. I all of a sudden feel straight. That's what's happened. Do you feel gay now
And
since this pandemic started?
well, I've had girlfriends. I'm married
Have
to a
you?
man now.
Have you had girlfriends?
Yeah.
Wendy, I would never think that. You seem too happy to be a lesbian, like to be with women, because you have to.
Well, I just fell in love.
Yeah, I get
I
it.
fell in love. And what can you do? So, but then I met my husband.
Who's amazing?
He's pretty
Yeah.
amazing. He's he's a closeted songwriter.
Really?
And yeah, his dad and uncle were songwriters,
Hmm.
the Sherman brothers. They wrote a lot of music for Disney. They wrote Mary
Yeah,
Poppins
I
and
know that. Yeah, I know them. I didn't
but
know
my
that.
yeah, but my husband is an amazing songwriter and he's been writing a lot during the pandemic. I think this is a time where everybody's like really being artistic because it's a way to express yourself and
Yeah,
eat a lot.
I know, Wendy. I can't. This is what's going on. Like, I have a show tonight and I've gained like 5 pounds. And I know that doesn't sound like, for me, it's like I feel uncomfortable. Like, my pants are tight, everything's tight.
Well, we're short, so
I know.
5 pounds is a
You're
lot
right.
on us.
It is. It's a lot for me. And I'm like, I don't even want to perform because I feel so bad. I'm actually still going to stand on the back of a truck and perform for cars. I mean, this is it's really bad.
I've performed in bowling alleys, in basements at a fraternity.
Oh God, that sounds.
One time I was at a country club. They didn't have a stage or a microphone. So
Yeah.
I literally stood in the middle of
Yep.
people and like,
It's horrible.
but a back of a truck.
My mom's like, it sounds like you're going to the South and going to be like dragged around like the Jewish lesbian. Like, it sounds dangerous.
Oh
She's
my
like, "Are
God,
you
where
gonna be
is this?
okay?" I'm like, "It's in Queens. It's fine. It's just,
Have you done it before
no, but
during
like
the
people are
pandemic?
doing it, and I'm forcing myself to perform because if not, I can really get into just laying in bed. To be honest with you, if I don't force myself to do something, it's not good. It's not.
Well, I have been forcing myself since 117 days ago to I mean, and we've been here for longer than 117 days, but 117 days ago I started doing a video update,
Yeah,
and
it's so great.
it's kept me sane.
Mhm.
It's made me get out of bed and put on makeup and shower and get dressed. Like I feel responsible to my audience, who is maybe 50 people, but it still gives me it gives me life.
You haven't gone to like 51 or 52 just from everyone.
It was such an anomaly when it began. I had like 400 views, and now I have like a really good base of about 50 people. So, but I feel appreciated.
I know that's what it's about. It's about feeling
Right.
connected for me.
Right.
And
Exactly.
it's really that's been the hardest part is not like connecting with audience.
And we have our families, right? I have my husband, you have your wife
Yeah.
and children.
Hmm.
You have 4
I
kids.
do. I have three that live with me. I know it's not good. It's really I don't know.
But we need something else.
Of
We
course.
need we need the outside
And
validation.
also we've been on the road for so many years. So this is really not easy for me personally to be.
Well, I know a rock singer who performs constantly, and he said he's so happy just being at home now, finally. He unpacked his suitcase, and
Is he
it's the
very
first,
wealthy though?
uh, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if I didn't have to worry about money, I think I would be fine. I would like build a studio. I would embrace it and have my own place, like my woman slash man cave. It wouldn't be.
I have a tip jar right outside my door of my house. Not a lot of foot traffic, but no, it's a scary time. But I was not on the road, as you know. I was home for like a year
I
before
know.
the pandemic. I literally did 2 shows since I was in an accident, which I can tell you about, but I was in an accident, and so I was home for like a year. And then I did 2 shows, and then the pandemic
Oh
hit.
my
And
God. I didn't know
both
that.
shows I came home with strep throat.
Oh, gee.
So I know. So I'm like, I never want to leave my house ever again.
Why do Jewish people, we always like, is there something in our system that, you know what I realized yesterday? I mean, I know this is going to be funny, but I really mean this. We're freaking out a lot more about this virus than most people. Our people, every friend of mine that's Jewish, I feel like is being really careful, like has a mask, is
Yeah.
social distancing. And then I don't know, there's a lot of people that are just, I'm not saying
I haven't thought about
yeah,
that. Yeah, no, I
and
know.
my whole family, my mother, she won't hasn't hugged me in months. I've had like
She's so
I
cute. I saw her on the show we did.
she loves you.
Oh my
She was
God.
this she goes, that Wendy is so, but she's seen you for years. She loves you.
I think she knows my aunt. I think there's some New Jersey
Really?
connection with, yeah,
Where's your
I
aunt
think.
from? Do you,
They live in Jersey and Florida
well,
now.
that's yeah, that's my I'm sure they probably know each other.
Same circle. Yeah. Liebman.
No, but somebody
But
just said, I think my mom is friends with one of your family members. That's true. She said that to me.
Cynthia. Um, but yes, Jeff, my husband, goes walking every day, and he said he's the only one wearing a
Right.
mask.
No one, I know. I was out last night. I mean, I didn't go in like but I was out and about walking, and no, everyone was standing in groups. I don't know what to say.
My husband makes me wear a mask to bed of, wait, the joke's not over, of Jennifer Aniston.
That's one of the best jokes I've heard since this.
That's so funny. I have to give Billy Masters an assist
That
on that because I told him, I said, my husband makes me wear a mask to bed. And he goes, of who?
that is an incredible. I'm jealous of that joke.
Are you?
It's incredible.
You can use it too.
That is. Can I use that tonight? No, I'm not. No. But
You can.
that's a great joke.
I'm giving you permission.
Jennifer Aniston. Wait, how many stepkids do you have?
So I have 2 stepkids, I think, and they
You may have more, you just don't know from your parents.
no, they were when I met them, they were 4 and 8, and
Hmm.
now they're 25 and 29.
Wow.
I know, and one of them is pregnant. One of them, his girlfriend is pregnant. So I'm gonna be a step grandma.
I have a stepmother who's a step grandmother to my kid.
Really?
Yeah, she's very close with, yeah, yeah. I love it.
Um,
That's great.
but when I first met them, I'm doing a joke. When
I
I
want you to.
first
I
met
want
them,
jokes the whole time.
they would say to me, I don't have to listen to you. You're not my mother, because they heard my husband saying that to me. And you don't have to laugh at everything I say. But I love them so much. My youngest one is like a genius, and he works at Wayfair doing computer science. Like he's responsible for the algorithms. Like
Wow.
you want a picnic table, you'll also want a basket, things like that.
Basket.
And my oldest one is a brilliant musician.
Is
Yeah.
that what he does for a living?
Yeah.
Do they live near you guys?
One of them is in the next room. No. One of them lives in Burbank,
It's under me.
my musician, and my youngest one, Wayfair, lives in Boston.
Wayfair.
Wayfair, that's his name. No. But he is alone during this pandemic, and he's been dating over the internet, meeting people, Match.com or whatever he does.
Does he like that? I know I've heard of people doing it and they like it.
I guess it's okay. And but he's like, he was a loner as a kid. He's one of those like really smart kids who just took things apart and read everything on the internet, and he kind of likes it. He's been cooking. He's like a Renaissance kid. And enough about those little brats. No, I love them so much. I love them so much. But I never had kids. I couldn't have kids according to my leases. But it just wasn't in my DNA. It wasn't in my egg. Just wasn't part of my plan, I guess. Because I gave up kids for my career, basically.
I know. I get it. I mean, if I had to have them, I would never have had kids.
So you never bore a child?
Never wanted to. Never, ever for one.
I know. I never wanted to be pregnant.
Do you ever think, I've never thought about it. Like people are shocked because I'm a woman, but I've never once thought of having a child myself.
I thought of it when I married my husband, but I was 42 at the time, and the kids were 4 and 8, and I was like, I don't know if I want. But I didn't want to be pregnant. I didn't want to have to share my food with anyone.
Those leeches.
But I guess I always thought like I would be one of those postpartum women. Yeah. Like I didn't think it was good for me. But my sister loved being pregnant. Like she always felt better when she was pregnant. Yeah.
How many kids does she have?
Um, 2 and 16 abortions. I'm kidding. No, she has 2 kids. She has 2 kids. And so I felt like they were my kids,
Right.
like
Does she live in New York still?
she lives in San Francisco
Oh, okay.
and she's a therapist.
Really?
Yeah. And she's been doing some tele
Yeah, that's what my mom
stuff.
does. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to do that with people. Like I could help people. I don't need a degree,
You
right?
really
Do
don't
I?
need a degree right now. You could just say that you have one. I mean, at this point, everyone's so desperate. You could just say, I'm really good to talk to and make $100 an hour.
Let's do
I think
it.
we should do one with like 6 people and just have one person on the Zoom that we analyze and tell them what to do.
That would be real. That's a great idea. Like group therapy, but just as Mike Lee, the comedian said, Mike Lee said I was in group therapy. It was me and 6 therapists.
That's what it would be.
I know. I mean, it's like crowdsourcing. We
Mhm.
could figure somebody out.
I love it.
Honestly, I think people just really need to be listened to.
I do too. The problem
They,
is that some people really don't listen. A lot of people now. They think they know everything. This is the problem. And I'm guilty of it sometimes too. Like I'm not open to hearing certain things from certain people. I have my mind.
I didn't hear a word I don't hear a word you're saying right now.
Really?
No, I'm
Oh,
kidding. Oh my
I,
God.
I'm so gullible and like I don't get it sometimes.
Same.
Yeah. You'd think I was
S-
dumb. Like,
Well, people joke with
yeah.
us thinking we're comedians. And I'm
We're
like,
not anymore.
really? What?
We're not
I'm like,
anymore.
real? I know. Yeah, we are. You're so funny. What's, you're so funny on Twitter. And
Yeah, you said you're depressed by my tweets because I laugh so hard at yours. Is it because I post political stuff sometimes?
no, people being mean to you.
I know. You know, you're the first person I'm talking to about this. I actually,
Well, I didn't know the whole story.
okay.
So
I
do you
just
want to
did
tell the
two
whole
other
story?
podcasts and I said I don't really want to talk about it because I didn't trust
Oh,
them. It was
okay.
with guys and I feel like it would have been like taken out of context. It just someone put up a video that I had posted 4 years ago, when times were different. And the character that I did, I truly love. Like I always want to be her. Like she, I did an impression of a black woman. And now if you saw that out of context, it would be very inappropriate. Now, if you just saw this
Right.
video, I understand why people would be like, "What is that?" But I do characters, and it was another
Right.
comic that posted it, which was hard for me. And then I experienced that attack on Twitter. And it was very hard for me to not really I mean, I did get defensive because it felt so, like so many people went at me, but it ended after 24 hours. I actually messaged the girl and I was like, can we just talk? This is so ridiculous to do this on Twitter. It's like insane.
Why did she feel the need to do that?
I was getting messages from a lot of white girls about the black character, and I'm like, it seems like all these white women are upset. And then I write a lot of stuff on Twitter, and she wrote, I'm black, and if you need to hear it from a black woman, this is very offensive. I'm here for you anytime, or something. And I was like, oh my God, this is going to be a nightmare because it was posted with no context. Like, if you didn't know me and you don't know I do characters or I'm a comedian or anything, you'd think, what is this? This is like a racist video. And it was me doing this character making fun of Trump. And I finally said, I'm not responding to anyone anymore because this is getting so aggressive. Like, I'm not doing this on social media. And it went away. Literally, it was like a tornado. It was the crazy.
Did you ever feel like taking down your
I took
Twitter
down,
page?
yes, I almost took down my Twitter page. I might actually. I mean, not now, but like, I just can't deal. Twitter's really getting crazy. It's really, um, people spend all day on it and they don't like even I react to certain things that I just see and get reactive without really trying to figure out what it is, what it means. It's just, and everyone's upset and angry and sensitive right now. And what I did was I had some conversations off of Twitter and I understood how people felt. But then like some women wouldn't let it go. And I'm like, I already talked to her. I talked to people. I said I'm sorry if I offended anyone. I took every video down. I never want to upset anyone. I'm a very good person. This is killing me that I've even upset someone.
That's why I was depressed, because I know what a good person you are.
Yeah. A
So
lot of comics got upset. They
don't go off of Twitter. You need to
have you ever been criticized like not but have you been through that at all?
I had a little scandal.
What was it?
So a friend and I were going, she's an artist, and she was going to do a cartoon of one of my jokes. And she did, and she submitted it somewhere and it was rejected. But then I found it somewhere else without credit to me.
Oh, that's not good.
So I flipped
Yeah.
out. And the next day, I saw a joke of mine in a meme without credit. And I flipped out.
I've seen quotes from you many
Yeah.
times.
And then those two things snowballed in my mind. And I realized that I never said anything about seeing one of my oldest signature jokes almost verbatim in Amy Schumer's HBO special.
Really?
So
I remember this.
Because I always just assumed that somebody sold it to her.
Right.
That was what I thought, because she had told me in the past that she was a huge fan.
Right.
She saw me on TV. She wanted to do stand-up. So never in a million years did I think that she took the joke. I thought she had to have been sold this joke.
Right.
Because it was almost verbatim.
Right. That's what I always think when someone does a joke. I'm like, oh, one of the writers.
This is the first time I'm really telling the story. Yeah. So between those three things, I wrote something on Twitter and I said, between these three things, I don't want to be on Twitter I don't want to do Twitter anymore. And so it took on a life of its own.
That's what happened.
And then other people started accusing Amy Schumer of taking their jokes.
Oh.
So I started this thing that I didn't know, because I didn't know that other people thought she took their jokes. So I remember just being in bed with the covers over my head because I couldn't believe it got to that point. And she reached out. She said, I never would have done that joke if I knew it was yours. But then I heard her putting the joke down on radio.
What do you mean?
And saying
this joke?
Saying it was a hacky joke anyway. The joke is, I'm old-fashioned. I liked it when the man paid for sex. On a date, I'm old-fashioned. I like it when the man paid for sex. And I think she said, I'm old school. I like it when the man paid for sex. Paid, ...
Right, of course, your style. That's your style. I'm not saying Amy, but I've seen so many times and on so many podcasts I've said a lot of people have taken Wendy's style.
I'm happy about that. Yeah. I don't mind.
But it is your style, meaning you're the one who originated it. It's like if someone did where I talk to myself, I turn around and have a conversation with. If someone did that, you'd say that's Jessica's thing.
Right.
You'd say Jessica did that. So yeah.
So I guess I liked some people's tweets where they said, I don't know, they were whatever. She blocked me.
Yeah, it's a hard.
So But I still think she's hilarious. I still like, I loved her latest special, or her special when she was pregnant. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, it's hard. It's very hard. Also, with comics, it's like when you add the social media, it's really tough.
Oh my God. I once wrote a joke, and then I realized years later, I never even wrote that joke. I read that on Twitter
Oh
and I
God.
thought I wrote it.
See,
The joke was like,
that's what I
what?
mean. No, I'm saying that's happened to me where I've come up with a bit and then I heard that someone else had that bit. I'm like, oh my God, I think I heard them do that years before. And it just went in my head.
Right. And then other people have said that I do their jokes. And
Really?
so, but I mean, maybe I heard them do it, maybe I didn't. But like, there are comics that we write very similar
Yes.
stuff.
I
I write very similar stuff sometimes with Brian Kiley's jokes, to
mhm.
Kathy Ladman's joke. It's just that's our brains.
Yes, I know both of them
So,
and I can understand that. Especially Kathy. I know her better. I love Brian, but yeah. I
I mean, the wording is different, but anyway, it's possible. Like somebody said, there are only so many premises and so many words, but it's complicated because we don't copyright. Like somebody said, just write all your jokes into a novel.
Thank you so much to all of my Patreon members for supporting the podcast.
All right, hold up. Could you take a little off the P's? You're hitting them too hard. Not action.
Thank you so much to all of my Patreon members for supporting the podcast.
Hold on. Now you're whispering Patreon. Is there a reason you're whispering?
Well, you said to take the p.
Somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
You ready? Action.
Thank you so much to all of my Patreon member.
Now you got to pause.
For those of you who don't know, Patreon members, is that okay?
It was perfect. Why'd you stop?
Oh, okay. Patreon members.
Cut. Let's go back to the beginning.
Thank you
And action.
Thank you so much to all my Patreon members for supporting the podcast. For those of you who don't know, Patreon members get early access to the podcast, ad-free episodes, and access to monthly live streams where we talk more about...
All right, let's take it back to the beginning. That was perfect. Do it exactly like that.
I just did it well, though,
Except
but why are you
finish it this
starting
time.
over? Thank you so much to all of my patron...
Cut. Why are you screaming?
Because I'm just trying to get through this.
Action.
Thank you so much to all of
Action.
Thank you so much to all of my Patreon members. For those of you who don't know, Patreon members get early access to the podcast.
Perfect. Keep going.
There's so many P's.
Keep going. Keep going.
Ad-free episodes.
You
and
could cut this out, right?
For those of you who don't know, Patreon members get early access to the podcast, ad-free episodes, and access to monthly live streams where we talk more about being relatively sane.
Hold up. Did we agree on monthly live streams?
Yes, you told me I should do them because it'll get more members.
I don't know how to do a monthly live stream.
Don't you just talk in your phone?
We'll figure it out. Come on, let's get through this. We have to go. We should
Okay.
speed this up.
All right. Thank you so much to all my Patreon members for supporting this podcast. For those of you who don't know, Patreon members get early access to the podcast, ad-free episodes, and access to monthly live streams. We don't know what that is, but whatever, where we talk about being relatively sane. If you want to join our fantastic community that is so corny, go to patreon.com/Jessica Kirson. That's patreon.com/Jessica Kirson. That's
hold on,
Patreon.
I think you said patriot.com.
Go to patreon.com/Jessica Kirson. That's patreon.com/Jessica Kirson. Patreon.com/Jessica Kirson. Thanks again.
And cut. That's a wrap.
Ugh.
yeah,
And
yeah, but I know for your style that must happen a lot because it's a specific style and it's very relatable to everyone. You have like do you do a lot of corporate events? Because it's very just, I feel like everyone gets it, your jokes, whereas some people don't like what I feel like people wouldn't watch you and be like, she sucks. Like you're so relatable.
you know what? I never did a lot of corporate gigs, but I think that's yeah, I always thought I should,
You should.
but
You're a perfect corporate comic. Like I'm too, my comedies can have to change because of what's going on. I have to
In what way?
well, I do so many characters and it's tough right now with that.
Well, this is all a time of figuring it out. Like even doing shows on
I
Zoom.
know.
I did one yesterday, and we have to learn different skills as comedians,
Mhm.
how to travel and how to do press,
Mhm.
radio.
Yep.
So I'm just figuring Zoom is just another one of those challenges. And I've done about 20
Yeah.
Zoom shows, and they're exhausting.
They are because I'm nervous when I do. I have one tomorrow night and I'm already nervous about it because it's such a First of all, I'm not used to seeing everyone's face up in the screen like staring at me.
Right.
It's
Right.
feel very
Well, if it's
vulnerable.
going bad, just click off and
Yeah,
say you had
yeah. It's
technical
like 56
difficulties.
participants and then it's 11 by the time the show is like, oh, I guess this didn't go well.
You walked the Zoom.
Yeah, someone's baby, then you see their dog. I mean, there's so much material there actually now that I think about it. It's just I did one the other night for like very wealthy Jewish people and just, there's people like right up to the screen just like, "What is this?" Like, they just look so confused.
Oh my God, I did one. And our parents they're our biggest fans.
Yeah.
Right? So my mother invites everybody she knows. I'm just going to play with my hair for the next 20 minutes. So she invites everybody she knows, and there are two other people opening for me. And during one of the other sets, I hear, "When is Wendy coming?" And my friend who was opening, Bobby Tessel, he's like,
That is so something my family would. When is Wendy on?
I'm like, "Ma!" No, it wasn't my mother. It wasn't my mother. It was one of
Well,
her
my
friends.
mom was on one and she was commenting. Like her
Oh.
microphone was on. She goes, yeah, I agree. Like she was saying all opinions. I've said this on other things, but Ted Alexandro once told me, I thought this was the
Oh my
funniest
God.
thing. He did a show for older people in Florida. He said this woman's head was down the whole time. Literally, like her head was down. He thought she was sleeping. And at one point during the show, she looked up with this face and she goes, "You're gonna die." She goes, "You're all over the place."
Oh my God.
It's
My
so-
husband said that during one of my shows, there was like a couple, they were like passed out, but it was like late for them. It was the East Coast.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I've had people sleeping or out of it. I had a couple arguing. I could tell they were arguing. Like I'm performing they're having this argument.
One of the shows I did, this guy was sitting back in a recliner and he was alternating between taking big bong hits and blowing smoke in the whole square, and then like drinking shots. Like, could you share?
I know. He's like
Getting a
ODing.
secondhand, yeah. He needed one of those long glasses from Vegas, those long.
Oh, I
drink
hate those from Margaritaville. Those
Yeah.
are the end of the world.
I can't believe Vegas is opening.
What opening? It's open. It's so is Atlantic City. What? Who is
And Disney.
Wendy? I don't understand.
I know.
What's
We don't
happening?
go to those places.
Well, I went with
We-
my wife's family to Disney, and they literally walked around Epcot like we were traveling around the world. They're like, "Let's go to China."
You can drink your way around
That's
the
exactly what
world.
they did. Like, we want to have a beer in Germany. I'm like, it's not Germany. It's not really Germany. Believe me, I
It's
would not
cheaper
go over
though.
there if it was Germany. I'm not going.
Actually, it's not cheaper. You're not going to Germany. My father-in-law wrote the song "It's a Small World."
Oh, really? I love that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But when did you go to Epcot? You went during the pandemic?
No, are you?
Oh,
I won't even get on a
okay.
plane. I will not get.
I won't either.
Yeah, I won't.
I'm going to have to drive cross country to see my parents in Manhattan.
Yeah, we'll drive somewhere, but I'm not flying right now. No, I went like 3 years ago, but I hate being around tons of people. I get very anxious. So it was a lot. Like I don't, and now even forget it.
Yeah.
I'm
Well, there are fewer people there now.
right. Well, there'll be even fewer because everyone's gonna pass away.
I know. I know.
Do you know a lot of people who've gotten this? Because I do.
I know a few people who've gotten it and are out of it now. I know of a friend from high school who died from it.
Oh my God, at that age, I can't
know.
even take it.
And my parents, they live in Manhattan and they're in their mid 80s
Oh.
and they're still vibrant.
Mm.
And like they would go to the gym still if it were open. And it took my sister and myself to shame them into staying home. And it was my husband's idea. He said, tell her, your mom, that for years she's been sending you articles about osteoporosis and urine. She's always giving me health information, and tell her it's time for her to care about her health.
Oh.
And it worked. And so I had to send them like puzzles and wine and like they bought a treadmill.
Handcuffs. Handcuff them.
Oh, wait, hold on. I just saw a gray hair.
Oh my God.
I'm a prop comic, Jessica.
Did you really just put color in your hair?
Yeah, I'm
Wendy,
just joking,
I just
though.
sprayed an entire can of dark brown color on my roots. I look like Betty White. If I Yeah, I can't believe you carry around that thing. Look good. What kind is that? It's like a deodorant roll-on.
It's called Tween Time Instant Root Concealer. It's a fucking crayon. But I have one that's magnetic. Wait, hold on.
It's a fucking crayon.
Oh, I can't find the magnet one. It's like magnetic.
Do you
It
have a
sticks
box
to
of
your
props behind you? What?
No, it's my hair dryer. I told you everything around this frame is cluttered.
Nuts.
It's hysterical.
Yeah.
I'm not showing you. It's hysterical.
Isn't that amazing that you could just see? That's a funny thing too to talk about, that you can only see what's in the square, but if you saw what's around it, you put me in a mental institution.
Well, I did in one of my updates. I said I'm about to do a Zoom show and this is what you would see. And then I took my camera and I went around. I said, this is what you would really see.
I want to see that.
I'll show you off the air.
Yeah, I have to see that. I love it.
Okay.
So tell me what happened. This was so traumatizing for me to hear because I love you so much that you were tell if you don't mind telling us what happened to you. It was a year ago?
It was
Over.
November 2018.
Right.
And I was going to meet a friend for lunch and I was walking across the street and I was hit by a car.
Oh.
And I had taken 2 steps. And then I remember I was pinned to this car and I just remember it was like really slow motion. I remember thinking, I cannot believe this is happening. And I ended up, I had a broken leg in 3 places and two broken feet. So here's the joke that I passed out. And when I woke up, I knew I wasn't at home because I heard a vacuum. That's my favorite joke.
I love it so much.
Oh my God. But no, seriously, this really happened. So prior to the accident, I had been working out and I was doing keto and I felt in the best shape of my life.
Wow.
And I am lying in the ambulance and the guy goes, how old are you? And I said, I'm 57. And then he said, how much do you weigh? And I'm not going to say how much I weighed, but let's just say I said 150 pounds. Oh, no, he never said, how much do you weigh? He goes, how old are you? I go, 57. And I hear, I have a 57-year-old female. She's 185 pounds. And I literally got up from my stupor and I go, it's 150. Like that's what I was obsessed with.
I would be too.
He overshot me by 35 pounds.
That's a lot. It's
I
different to do
know.
it even 10, but 35, that's what is wrong with him?
Well, I think in his defense, I look taller lying down. So
Taller, that's like another, that's a that's a lot.
I know. I know.
just said a teenager.
So
What teenager?
like a what?
I said a teenager. What teenager is 35? I meant
So okay, so I was hit by the car.
so
And
you woke up in the ambulance. Is that when you
I passed out in the ambulance actually. I passed out right after I heard him say
missed-
100.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
really?
then I woke up in the hospital. And long story short, that was November. And it took them until February to realize, I realized it, but it took the doctors that long to realize that my foot was on crooked. Like when they
I'm sorry,
set my leg, I know it's hysterical.
How
It's
can they not
hysterical.
realize your foot is crooked?
If it wasn't absurd, so like feet are like this
Yeah.
with my legs, right? This foot was
They
turned
didn't
out.
notice that it looked like an L.
Well, because I was bandaged and everything. So they kept saying, can you keep your foot up? And I'm like, it's really hard. Because it was like because when they set the leg, the bone was turned.
Oh my God, Wendy.
So in April, they had to re-break my leg and turn it back.
This is horrific.
So I never was angry though. I
Yeah.
never got angry. I was always honest to God, my husband will verify. I was just happy that I hadn't hit somebody else.
I would, if I hit someone else like that, I would not be okay. I would not be okay. Who was the person that
So
hit, not who, but like, did the person feel horrific?
she stopped and she said it was my fault.
What?
I can't go into
Doesn't
it.
matter. Yeah.
No, but the bottom line is it wasn't like, oh, I'm so sorry and here's my insurance money. It wasn't like that. Like I had to fight her for it. And it just concluded like a week ago. And I was awarded it all.
You know what?
I mean,
Life is interesting.
well, I just feel so vindicated
It
because
is. Yeah, I get it.
like I had the right of way. I was in the crosswalk. What else do you need to know?
How does
So
someone live with themselves when they don't take like I wouldn't be able to be okay every day if I didn't take responsibility for something.
well, we know we would have been like bending over.
I would have been like, take my house.
I know. So, and thank God, I also never got angry because I thought if I were a foot ahead, she could have
Right.
hit my spine
Right.
or me. I could have been run over.
I'm very much
So,
like that. Like even with this virus, I'm like, listen, no one in my family passed from, I mean, my dad passed but from cancer, but nobody passed from this virus or got really sick, and I'm okay, and things could be so much worse. And
wait, it says there are 3 of us. Is
oh,
somebody
that's my
watching?
manager who
Oh, hi.
he's filming it from home.
I know
And
Jim.
yeah, everyone loves you.
I
Everyone
love
loves
Jim.
Yeah, so that's a horrible. So did you feel
Well,
like a
it's all,
victim? You never felt like a victim? I would have.
I felt, um, it just gave me a lot of time to reflect and think about life. And I was also high on oxycodone.
Oh, it's so good in the beginning.
So
I
good.
know.
I really had to stop myself. I totally understand the oxy problem
I was
because
dependent on oxys once when my back went out, and it was a nightmare because
to get off of
it was a
it.
nightmare. Meaning when you go, you get like flu-like symptom. Like I was so sick when I went off of them.
Well, I don't think I ever took that much, but I would look forward to
Right.
the 4 hours or 6 hours. But I was also in pain because my foot was on wrong.
That sounds so painful. I don't even know what to say.
Well, it's like I still think of my foot it was like I was a ballerina and my foot was in second position. And
At least you
my
weren't on
husband
your
said I could
toes.
only swim in circles. What?
Imagine if you were on your toes like a ballerina.
But the human body, like I'm pretty much healed.
Yeah, I was going to ask, are you in pain at all now? Are you ever in pain?
I have a fucked up foot.
Yeah.
My foot is fucked up. Yeah, but I'm not going to go into it. But I can walk and, so I was home before the pandemic for such a long time. But now I'm home and now I can do laundry. Before I couldn't walk around I mean, I couldn't get out of bed. But now at least I can go outside in the backyard and
Yeah, it's really oh, so my sister, I've never talked about this in podcast either, but my sister got into an accident in college. We went to University of Maryland together and her boyfriend was driving drunk. It's a nightmare. And the car flipped over 3 times and she broke her back and her collarbone. It was really bad. And she always looked at it too, like at least I mean she had to have major back surgery. She still has so many problems, but she lived and she had children and but it was serious. I mean, she was in a body cast for a year. She had to leave. So anyway, being home and not being able to move around, I mean, that was the hardest part.
right. You don't seem like a person who has a sister.
Really? Yeah, I grew up with an older sister, and then I ended up having an older sister, two halves, and then four steps.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, people say I don't seem like I have a sister. Well, because I talk about my brother in my act, but I don't have a brother. But we're allowed to do that in comedy, right?
Of course we are, because you're sometimes I refer to like what something a friend said, but it's really my aunt. Like I don't
Me too.
things I don't want to, of course I'm protective of my family too. Or it's my
And
mom.
sometimes I make something up and
Yeah.
I blame it on a cousin or
Me too. I'll go, I just saw
like,
my cousin and she said you look horrible. Like no one said I look horrible.
well, I said I overheard somebody say, are twins the result of a multiple orgasm? But it really was just something I thought of. Not that I didn't know.
That's hilarious.
But
Well, yeah, someone in the family, not my family, but Danielle's once asked if this is amazing. She was pregnant and he goes, was it planned? But when I used to say it, that's a true story.
that's funny.
Yeah, an older guy, but I didn't say it was her uncle at the time.
Right.
Just to be, but I was like, what? Like, was it planned?
That's
No, it was a
hysterical.
mistake.
Do you say that in your act?
Yes.
Oh my
I'm
God,
like,
that's so
you know, I
funny.
wasn't wearing a condom, so unfortunately, we didn't plan
Oh
for
my
it. But
You didn't have a condom over the turkey baster. The condom broke over the turkey baster.
I really need to give that back to my mother. I borrowed her.
Oh my. I can't even use a turkey baster because it just reminds me of like
Me
that's
too.
what
I
it's
feel like we're
for.
trying to impregnate the turkey. I know what you, I don't like, ugh, that grosses me out anyway to get the juice and then squeeze it on. I feel like the older I get, the more and more traumatized I am. Like, I can't do so many things. Do you feel like that too?
Um, it's just I'm in more of a routine, so I do pretty much this. Yeah, I don't do a lot of newer things. But I have been. I'm just trying to think of jokes here. I can't think
What are
this
some of your
fast.
hobbies?
Well, every day I ride my
You
bicycle, my
do?
stationary bicycle, and I binge watch stuff.
Yeah.
I'm binge watching a show called Doc Martin. I feel so old. I'm so old. I remember when you could smoke on a plane for free. Now it costs $2,200. But yeah, I watched Doc Martin. We're watching I watched Mrs. Maisel.
You like Mrs. Maisel?
I didn't like it at first,
Yeah.
and then I retried it, or I tried it again when I was in bed with my leg, and I loved it the second time. What about
I need to
you?
try again because I had the same experience. I was like, I can't do this.
Well, a lot of it was like too Jewishy.
Yeah.
Like I didn't like the characterizations of the parents,
Mm-hmm.
but I can overlook that because it's so beautiful. Like it's really beautifully shot. And what I appreciated about it was that she kind of reminded me what a stand-up comedian was. Like, because she tells stories and
Yeah.
I do one-liners. It's a different I was envious actually.
Really? That's so interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Does she always do well?
no,
Okay. Because that would
no.
make me crazy.
No, she doesn't always do well. She makes it look a little easy,
Mm-hmm.
though.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Before we go, I have to know this from you. What's the worst gig, like one of the worst gigs you ever? I'm sure you've been asked that so many times, but I'm curious for you. What?
I have been asked that, but something just came to mind
Yeah.
because you asked me about corporate gigs. So I had been doing comedy for like 6 months maybe,
Oh.
and some guy saw me do an open mic,
Mm-hmm.
and he hired me to dress up like I was in HR and talk to 300 people at their convention. And
Anytime
he
he has
gave
to dress up, it's a nightmare. You never
you know
finish the story. Yeah.
he gave me some real things to say about HR,
Oh my God.
and then he wanted me to tell jokes. Well, these people were like, "Huh?" And he wasn't there. He had me putting people down,
That
like
is
like
horrible.
roasting them.
Yeah.
But that wasn't my worst gig. I guess my worst gig was one time I was at Cobb's in San Francisco, which I loved.
Yeah.
This is when it was on Fisherman's Wharf.
Mm-hmm.
And I was at that point, like doing comedy, you go in peaks and valleys, like you're so into it and then you're getting tired. And
Mm-hmm.
so I was at one of the lulls, and what am I doing? And
Yeah.
I'm too tired. And I'm on stage, and this woman early on in my set, she goes, "I'm a comedian too." She's in the audience.
Boy.
And I go, "Oh, that's great. And what's your name?" And I gave her some props. And then later on in the set, she goes, "I could have written a funnier punchline than that." And I almost started crying. I was going to run off stage, which I've never run off stage, but I was going to.
Mm-hmm.
And then like this voice in my head came into my head. And so she said, "I could have written a funnier punchline." And I go, "And where are you working tonight?" And then the audience is like on my side.
Yeah.
But so was that the worst show? I don't know. I've bombed, but
Yeah, but for me, it's when I'm in that space of being burnt out and tired and traveling a lot, and then someone heckles me, I've snapped, and then I feel really bad. Like
see, I don't snap. I go the other way.
what do you mean?
I get more like,
Well, that's what believe it or not, I'm sorry, I should have said I don't start, I get quiet, but I
oh,
snap in
right.
my head and I get like, I want to kill the person.
Okay, I know my worst show. It was like a Jewish
Yeah,
show
they're always,
in
yeah.
over um Rosh Hashanah and in a hotel.
Yeah, those are the hardest.
And and it wasn't like people weren't mean or mad or anything. If I don't get you at the
Yeah.
beginning, it's like a zipper. It's like it never connected. And I hadn't had one of those shows in so long that I was confused.
Mm-hmm.
And it made me feel, when I bomb, it makes me feel the same way I felt before I ever did stand up, which was depressed and alone and misunderstood and
Yes.
freaked out and
Mhm.
like all those things that I felt before I did stand up. And that's what I felt. And I got off stage, and the guy who had hired me, another comedian, he's trying not to say anything, like, great job. I'm like, I know that I just fucking bombed up there. And it was because I hadn't felt that in a while. I was so confused.
I know I can completely relate to what you're talking about. It's very confusing to me sometimes. And when you don't connect, I think the worst shows I've ever had too are when I don't connect. And I'm just like, you feel so alone and filled with fear and
Yeah,
like, maybe I
right.
shouldn't do this. And it's horrible because it's something you love so much.
But then it's like childbirth, I imagine, that you just forget about it and you do it again, or you're trying to get back there.
Yeah. I mean, I think those are the ones we learn from. I mean, those are the shows that made me stronger for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, it made me, because I'm the kind of person like when I go through that, then I go into action. Like I start writing more, or thank God I'm like that. Yeah.
You're so funny.
Oh, stop it. Thank you.
And I
Compliment.
want you to have the greatest show tonight on the truck.
I finally made it.
It's not going to be moving, is it?
Could you imagine if I'm standing on the back trying to get balanced the whole time? It goes on
Every
the
time
LIE.
you get a big applause, you should ask them to take a victory drive.
Well, and some they honk. I'm like, if one person honks at me, I'll jump off the stage and have to go into a home. The sound of a honk at this point is so traumatic.
Oh
They
my
don't honk.
God.
But I think there's a group, because Rachel Feinstein's doing it and some other people. I think there's a little group sitting in front of you. So at least I'll see, like, I don't know how many people, hopefully 10 or something that can laugh.
Right. Like a Zoom show.
Yeah, it's Wendy. The Zoom shows are so funny. Well, where can people keep in touch with you? Where can people find you? Because you're so funny on Twitter.
Thank you. I'm on Twitter at Wendy Liebman. I'm on Instagram at Wendy Liebman, and my website is Wendy Liebman, and Facebook.
You guys, you have to. So a lot of people that don't do comedy listen to this, but even there's so many comics that listen to this, and so many of them know you. And just watch Wendy's work. I mean, you really are one of the pioneers, especially
Thank you.
for female comics. I mean, how long have you been doing it?
Since 1985.
That is unreal to me. Like,
and I'm trying to look young with my
no, you look, first of all, you look like you're 40. That's not even an exaggeration. You do.
I'm going to be 60.
No, yeah, but you look unreal.
I don't even care. Like, I don't want to go back in time, Jessica. I just want to
know.
go back in food.
I know. I don't want to go back in time either. I was really freaking out. And then I was like, no, I don't even want to do it over. I'm exhausted. I just want to like go forward and relax.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, it does get easier. Life does get easier in certain ways because you're like, I don't have to deal with that.
I know. I get it. Well, I'm so glad you're okay. I'm so grateful
you.
you did this with me. I just,
Oh, I loved it. I loved it. I love you. I
Yeah, it
think
was
this
so
is so much fun.
thank you. And
Thank you
everyone,
for
check
having
Wendy
me.
out. Thank you so much.